You are getting the 2 Metallica shows this year in the United States. Metallica is doing their stadium summer shows with Greta Van Fleet and a band called Ice Nine Kills, who some people really like. I can't get into them, but Greta Van Fleet, you know, they had a huge summer a few years ago. These kids from Frankenmuth, Michigan, who were doling out their version of, they had listened to a lot of Led Zeppelin. And you can do a hell of a lot worse than that. But I think that's an interesting lineup. Listen, I don't care who you are. If you're opening for Metallica in a stadium, you're going to have a good time. You're breathing rarefied air there. But I'm always curious. Metallica's been around long enough where they can just take out who they like. Doesn't matter. You know, metal shows, arguably more than just about any other genre, are pretty monolithic. You're never going to see a metal show that has anything other than metal bands on it. Metallica, however, do whatever they want to do. So Metallica's taking Greta Van Fleet out. Been some amazing... Over the decades, there have been some, if you ever read Reddit threads of amazing concert lineups that just don't go together, like Suzanne Vega opening for Jethro Tull, you know, back in the day, things like that. I don't know that I would have thought of Greta Van Fleet with Metallica. But if you're one of our listeners in Buffalo or Pittsburgh, you are getting the 2 stadium Metallica shows this year. They're going to play the Highmark Stadium in Buffalo in August, and they're going to play PNC Park, home of the Buccos, on August 14th. And tickets for both go on sale Friday, March 4th at 10 o'clock. I think you can win them with Rover next week for the Pittsburgh show. So if you want to go see Metallica in Pittsburgh, August 14th, listen to Rover next week. I won't have those Metallica tickets next week, but he'll have them. You know who this is, Poundcake?
Metallica.
He did it.
It's getting better.
What took him so long?
I think he had to put his headphones on and turn his mic on and close out the whatever he's looking at in the break.
He wasn't thinking.
No, I was sending an email to Jason.
I see. Okay, good. Hey, by the way, your Cleveland Cavaliers are back on the hardwood tonight. Is that what the kids call it, Bill? The hardwood?
I mean, that's a term that's been used. I don't know if that's what the kids are calling it, but...
Someone's kid has probably
the
used
proverbial
it.
kids.
Yeah, the proverbial kids. Yeah, of course.
Cavs are back on the hardwood tonight in Detroit at the Little Caesars Arena to play the Pistons. First time back after the All-Star game, and so that will go down at 7 o'clock tonight. After we get out of here at 6:30, your pregame will begin right at 6:30. Is Darius Garland playing against the Pistons?
Not tonight.
He is not. Karis LeVert is out.
Yes.
Darius Garland is out due to injuries. Karis LeVert just got here from the Pacers, and he's not playing. Nevertheless, Cavs are going to be back here at home on Saturday to play the Washington Wizards, home of one Michael Jordan. Is he still associated with the Wizards?
No, he owns the Hornets.
He owns the Hornets, yeah. He went back to play for the Wizards for a hot minute, right?
Yeah. And I think he was...
Front office guy or something?
Front office, guy. And kind of like a... He had multiple roles there, but now... Because I think he was a player there, and then he went to the front office, and then he bought the Hornets when they were still the Bobcats.
Gotcha. Speaking of the front office, by the way, congratulations to White Sox legend Jim Thome, who is now the president of the MLB PAA, or MLBPA. That's the Major League Baseball Players Alumni Association, as he is, to the surprise of many, an alumnus of Major League Baseball. A lot of people thought that he was still out there playing. He's not. As he is a White Sox legend, he is part of the White Sox organization. And so they've... I'm sorry?
I mean, just saying he went into the Hall of Fame as an Indian, so that would be more his loyalty in a way.
No. Anywho, works for the White Sox. As the Baseball Hall of Fame is not in Cleveland, Ohio, of course, it's famously in Cooperstown. That didn't even bring him, he didn't even care. He's like, yeah, cool, thank you. Going to go back to Chicago, where my wife and my family are. And but anyway, congratulations.
He's just waiting for that job to open up with the Guardians. He's just waiting.
You think they're looking to hire him away?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then he goes...
They're waiting because they you need to get a few years experience with this White Sox team. We'll bring you on board here.
Right. But then and I think that would be great for him and for the city of Cleveland. Only trouble is he would obviously still want to live in Chicago. So he'd go, can I do it from here? And
I don't believe that would be the case at all.
Well, he already had the choice and he chose. So if they go, hey, we'd like you to be part of the Guardians organization, he'd go, A, I was an Indian. B, can I do it remotely? Sorry, Bill, have you heard from work from home? Why is he going to pick up and move? But he is now the new president. And again, I don't know what the MLB PAA does. I mean, they just advocate for retired athletes? Is that what it is?
Yeah, usually.
Retired baseball players?
Make sure they're getting a fair pension and health care and stuff like that. They have a lot of different things they got to advocate for. I don't think they're on strike right now. From being retired players.
No, they are not. No, they want to show solidarity to Major League Baseball, but the headline that I read was really weird. MLB says regular season games will be canceled if new CBA isn't reached by February 28th. Now, what the Continental Basketball Association has to do with any of this, it just gets more and more confusing to me. I don't know. I'm not an X's and O's guy.
Come on, you can figure this out. Why would basketball have anything to do with this?
That was my question.
But B could stand for something else.
MLB and the CBA. You recall the Continental Basketball Association.
But why would it be basketball if they're playing baseball?
That's my question entirely.
So why wouldn't it be the Continental... Come on.
Baseball Association?
Yes.
Oh, the Continental Baseball Association.
Yes. Still wrong, but we're closer.
Like the Lansing Lugnuts and things like that?
Sure.
Regular season games will be... See, they're trying to put the screws to the players. They're like, hey, listen, you don't play, you don't get paid. Is that true of every person in baseball, or are there guys that have contracts that say, if in the event of a lockout, I still get paid?
I have no idea.
Because that's on you guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't imagine guys that are making $30 million a year have to worry about, But they've said that February 28th is going to be the deadline, a hard deadline, and then they're going to start canceling regular season games, which would be a huge blow, obviously, to the Cleveland Guardians' inaugural season, which is set to start on March the 31st. Now, we don't care because we won't be downtown by then. That would have been fun, but we won't be. But they're trying to put the screws to these guys because the owners, they don't want to put up with any nonsense for too long. They go, hey, you guys are costing us money, and since we're richer than you, like it or bite it. A deadline is a deadline. Missed games are missed games. Salary will not be paid for those games, they say. The league offered the players a $10,000 increase.
Ooh.
Which, if you're playing professional sports, you're like, thank you.
I don't need $15.
Yeah, I didn't need an extra $100 per check. They proposed that the minimum salary that began at $775,000.
I wonder if there'll even be a season. They seem like they're so far apart.
They're so far apart. Somebody's going to have to flinch. It's going to be the players.
No, it's not going to be the players. It's going to be the owners.
But these are guys who need to get paid. Most people in professional sports aren't making $30 million a year.
Right, but these owners, they need that revenue from the games.
Well, how'd they do in the COVID year? I mean, I know they're coming off a COVID year, so they probably don't want to have something as dumb as a lockout to... Yeah, so anyway, we'll see. Just for the morale of the baseball fans in this city, I really hope there's a season. It'd be really strange if the Cleveland Guardians' inaugural season got jammed up. Pitchers and catchers were supposed to report a couple of weeks ago. That obviously didn't happen.
Last Thursday.
And now opening day is in danger of being delayed. I think we're set to play the Kansas City Royals. Is that true? On March 31? I think the Guardians are playing the KC Royals. That's George Brett and the Kansas City Royals.
Sure.
Is that not right? Did I misread that?
I mean, he once played for them, yes.
Oh. I was just sent some information on the wire that I thought told me. Hey, anytime you want to leave us a message, the Alan Cox Show After Hours line is available to you. It is 216. Where is it? It's 216-986-8903.
Hey, Alan. It's Vincent Kent. Listening on the podcast, you guys were talking about Matthew Stafford a couple days ago. I had a theory about this that nobody has talked about. Matthew Stafford used to play in Detroit. You used to be on in Detroit. What if, and hear me out, what if he liked your morning show back when you were on in Detroit, decided to give the Cleveland show a listen, and what is your first rule of your mission statement? Never help anybody. I think that's it. I think he saw that photographer fall, and he just decided, nope, I live my life by the Alan Cox code. I'm not helping her out. Hate the show.
Well, I see what he's getting at. I wasn't sure where he was going at first. I don't know. Again, I had Matt Stafford on my show a number of times when I was on in Detroit because our AM station was the flagship for the Detroit Lions. And so I would have players on pretty regularly, and I would have Matt Stafford on. Couldn't get anything going in Detroit for as long as he was there. That's why the people of Detroit don't hate his guts. Under any other situation, if a guy bolted, and they just traded quarterbacks. Lions got Jared Goff.
Pretty
Stafford,
even trade.
And it's continuing to really work out. It just goes to show you can only do so much with who you have because Jared Goff is no slouch, and he can't get anything going either. But listen, as flattered as I would be for somebody to take that advice, and again, in the many, many years that the Alan Cox Show mission statement has been a thing, I like to think that perhaps I've evolved a little.
Have you?
I'd like to think so.
But that's not what I asked you, have you?
Well, I mean, wouldn't you hope that you would over the course of a decade? I mean,
Some people don't want to.
I've definitely
Some people devolve.
I've definitely gotten more soft. Right? I had another kid. I definitely got soft. My hard edges have been, unfortunately, kind of shaved off. But never help anyone was always at the top of that list, like the caller said.
Why was that?
Because I think it's overrated. I think people do it to make themselves feel good and not the recipient of. Also, anecdotally, I think it was coming hot off the heels of a bunch of people where no good deed went unpunished. So I think it was more topical at the time.
At what point do human beings, and I don't mean as a whole human beings, I mean like a human being, stop evolving? 40 to 50, 50 to 60.
Well, what do you mean by evolving?
Like,
I guess we'd have to define what
where
we mean by that.
You're like, I'm not going to get any better. This is what it is. Like, I've been this way my entire life.
Well, that's a choice, though. You can always learn new things.
People who are 21 who say that.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
I didn't know.
It depends very much on the person.
Because I know a lot of people are like, I'm 60. Like, what do you want me to evolve? Like, I'm getting ready to retire. Like, I don't give a crap anymore. Like, I figured there's a point where, like, I can understand why you're not evolving. This is just how you think.
But do you have a specific set of behaviors in mind? I mean, what do you...
No, I just mean, like, your mindset. You say your mindset over the course of 10 years has evolved. And I think changing a mind is harder than is easier than changing a heart. Like, if you had... I just don't know. I just think at a certain point, people stop evolving. At a certain age, I think.
Well, you might be right. I'm sure there are some people, but I think that those are people who...
Like, do you expect your parents to evolve? You've known your parents for a long time.
I've known my parents my whole life.
That's what I'm saying. Like, are they set in their ways, or can their mind be changed about certain things? Like
I'm
politics.
sure. I'm not trying to change their minds about politics. I would never tell two people. I would never tell two people in their 70s.
That's my point.
Who raised me that they were wrong. I would only tell them that I thought they were wrong.
But could their mind be changed about it? Is what I'm asking you.
I think so.
Okay.
I
feel like a lot of them doubled down. I see where you're coming from. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I didn't have it.
They won't. They're like, I'm not trying to change things now, and
they close their mind off.
They close their mind off. They romanticize the past. They say things were always better. Blah blah blah, and they don't want to have an open mind. But that's not even just something that has to do with older. That's like a mindset that a lot of people just have. But, like, how many people have called into this show and be like, well, it's the way I was raised, so I can't do anything about it.
And that's the thing. I think thinking has like an incubation period. I think you can always free think up to a certain point, and then after that, I've thought this way for so long. I've seen so many things. My mind can't be changed because I haven't seen any different, and I'm in my 70s. What are you going to show me that I haven't already experienced?
But that also requires work, too. To not evolve requires work because you're swimming against the tide.
Okay.
If you are planting your feet, a lot of people that call themselves free thinkers, they're just lazy. They really are. They're just lazy, and they don't want to consider the way things can or should change. They go, well, I'm a free thinker. No, you're not. You want things to be the way they always have been.
Well, I just know the conservative people in my family, when we get together for holidays, they give me the same rundown that they did since I was a kid. And, obviously they're older now, but they're giving me the same bullet points. I'm like, wow, you really have not changed. And this is an older person.
Well, and a lot of them take pride in that, too.
And they do. And I'm like, I could tell you, I could give you facts. I can show you proof. I can do a bunch of things, and their mind will not change.
But you're also talking about they're also black.
Who?
Your family.
One side of my family is black,
that's who you're talking about.
My
right?
family, my mom's side of the family, yes, is black.
But that's my point. Is that side of the family has an entirely other layer of experience to contend with.
Because my family, I do have my blood side of the family is black, but a lot of my black family members married white. So
why do you think that is? They just saw your mom and said that looks good.
Well, my mom's not married.
No. But I mean, she was. Did she marry your dad or no?
No, they were never married.
But they were together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were like, "This looks all right."
My aunt and uncle, they're interracial.
Love see no color.
My cousin and her ex-husband now they were interracial, so it's very blended, and so that's why
you love the swirl. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but they like the black bodies, but not the policies that we have. I'm like, wow.
Let me go through the mission statement because we have not gone through it in a long time, and we'll see if we can evolve and remove some things. You tell me because there are currently 20 things we haven't added in a long time, right? It's become less of a priority. Number 1 is never help anyone. Any one of these can be struck. Tell the person next to you to shut up. If it's not on the air, it didn't happen. That's never going to go away. Kids are dicks. Find ugly girls locally.
I think we can get rid of that one because I don't even know what that means.
Well, these are all, like I said, they're all very topical, and it's hard to maybe recall, but I think we were talking about people who were spending a lot of time on apps or going to other cities to meet people, and these weren't attractive people. So you know what your range is.
Right.
So just do that where you don't have to drive for 8 hours. Meth and accordions don't mix. Nobody's going to argue with that.
I would like to...
You'd like to see somebody on meth playing the accordion.
On meth play the accordion, and I bet they rip it.
Give fewer Fs. That's not going to go anywhere.
That's a good one.
No one needs extra vulva.
I don't know about no one.
You'd make a case that some women need extra vulva.
It just says no one. Some men might need extra vulva.
I mind a little.
I like to wrap myself in it. There you go, like a nice and plush.
Yeah.
Boobs are boobs. I mean, that seems self-evident. No roomy rectums. Poundcake, you want to weigh in?
I don't like it to be roomy. I want it to be nice and compact.
Well, I thought of like your roomie, like your roommate. Like leave your roommate's
No,
rectum alone.
ROOMY, not
Ah,
IE.
okay.
Yeah. Although that's a great
I was like, no
addendum.
roomie rectums.
That's
Hey,
right. Yep.
Stay away from your roommate's rectum.
Just pay the rent and put your pants on. Always wipe it off. I think that's good. You'll never live down a prostate milking. I mean,
I've lived down several.
I've never had my prostate milked.
it's more of a dude thing.
Lady, you haven't lived.
Got all this extra vulva. I mean,
Balls should always be rewarded. My house, my boner.
I like that one.
Yeah. It's always fun to find fun when things aren't fun. One of mine.
That's a good one.
Fart your farts. That's a Bill Squire yeah, that's not going anywhere. There
those
are no
farts.
dry bubbles. That doesn't even make sense. Sometimes mom and pop sucks as like local establishments and stuff.
Yes.
And you can't just run from your saliva. I think that's a Mary Santora.
I said that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't just run from your saliva. I think we were talking about that. Somebody underneath the dentist's bowl
Stop.
drinking
I don't really
up
wanna think about it again.
the thing that people
Just
spit
please
into.
stop.
There's a giant
I
bucket
hate- I
underneath.
wanna throw up.
And somebody sticks their head in and drinks from it. All right, then I'm going to take a break. And I'll have Lewis Black tickets for you when we come back. He's doing a show in April at the Goodyear Theater in Akron. So if you want to go see him, we'll take care of you in a bit. 35192 if you want to text, and we'll be back.